Alrighty, YouTube, what is good? This is another gameplay video with our boy Rahan playing some money matches.
I'm
He
the
says
best
the
deck in the
gameplay
pot.
isn't too interesting, but he wanted to review it either way because this is obviously a very difficult matchup. He's playing Dracotail versus Vanquishable Canine, so we've got the regular bozos in here: Mitchell, my boy Fritz, and Nick, along with my podcast co-host. And yeah, we got the standard Izuna Lupus hands, plus Shaddoll Dragon.
So
Just
with this hand, I was actually pretty nervous because, like last time I played this guy, he was on Yummy, so I was like, okay, I'm just I have a dead hand. But he
sure.
led with double jokels, um, and here was like the first sort of decision tree that I had was like, do I use my Izuna and Lupus here or
Mhm.
no? And I guess I wanted to know like, what do you think? Like, do you think if your opponent is just leading with jokels, and that's all you know, do you lead with an Izuna or no?
Um. So Azuna, your extra options I assume are Valon and Ripper.
Yes.
I don't even know what you can make that like, interacts meaningfully.
Like that's the issue, right? I think there isn't anything.
Yeah, right.
Um,
Like because it was specifically double Jokel, which is hilarious. That was like really good here.
yeah, like if it was anything else,
It
and the
sounded like
issue
a
is like
Xiaolong or
this is
whatever. Like yeah, sure. I'm just like saying run it.
it also doesn't give me any information onto like what he's playing. Like it could either be K9 Crystron or K9 Vanquish Soul.
I would say it
Yeah,
gives you some information though, because if you see double Jokel, that tells you he's probably playing a Lantern. So like,
that's fair. Yeah, you're not playing like the extra of K9 list or
Yeah.
Vanquishal list, so it gives you
but and then
information.
I'm
But
thinking,
yeah,
okay, like what is the risk here if I let him summon double Jokel, or that he just goes straight to Ripper to play around like a Droll or something? Because ideally, I want to summon the Azuna and the Lupus before he gets to Ripper. That way, I can make a rank 5 after he summoned the Ripper,
Well,
and then
like
I can like.
the issue is right, depending on what his hand is, he also just doesn't need to do that.
he can also just like
Be,
he can also just like make Nash Knight and just like check
yeah, he can.
your Lupus.
And the issue is because I've used an Azuna, he can just grab his own Azuna and then make
Yeah,
Nash Knight. Always check my Lupus.
yeah. Yeah, I think just like not revealing what deck you're playing is probably more worthwhile when you're in like a game one situation.
Yeah, I just wanted to see like where he's
Yeah, I
going
just
with
like
this.
see whatever he's playing. Like we see Case of Canine, which is a card that not every deck plays. Obviously we know he's playing the quick play spell whenever this happens. Like I would like to see if he's banning the trap cards still, which I assume most people are, but something I've heard discussed. But yeah, we have Snow Devil. We got
Yeah.
this Yufua. You're actually you're trying to play this out, I guess. I just think you can't win this game ever.
I also don't think I can win this game, but I wanted to try because that's what practice is for.
I guess he also just like knows what you're playing because like you only play one deck at this point.
Yes.
Like I
I'm a
guess the
single.
only win con I see is like okay Fua, okay activate King of the Swamp, he lets it resolve, okay set Shaddoll Dragon, okay nothing, okay activate Poly Guardian Chimera, and then you just like still lose the trap, like whatever.
So in hindsight, I ended up actually making an illegal play, but we'll get to that.
Okay, okay.
So Yuzu does this, whatever, just adds back.
Is that illegal? No, let's see
Illegal.
illegal play. Is there a legal fusion
This
summon you can make here?
this is a legal play. Is
You
that
cannot
until
poly
there's
before the loop is on the field, I assume.
exactly. So
Yeah,
that's the illegal play. Um, that I
yeah. So
realized like
he would just like trap prior, whatever, like when I activate Chimera. Yeah,
it wouldn't even be trap, right? I think if because like my play would be set Shaddoll
it was like
Dragon.
Nash Knight or whatever. Yeah. I mean,
It's
you
either
can do
Nash,
whatever. You can't win the game. Oh
yeah,
Jesus.
or he can also just like go Liberation and pop the set.
Oh yeah, his liberation too. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that was the intention to play around that, but I realized after that I was actually an illegal play. It never mattered though.
Alright. It does not, luckily. Because we don't fuck with cheaters. Mad Love is. That means takes your Lucius? That's just disrespectful. Alrighty. So that was fun and interactive. Now we open effectively the nut hand.
Yeah, pretty good hand.
Yeah, I'm just going. I assume Ketsu for Lucius, check for like every nut interaction, and then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I would also ash any chummy he uses. Not Peruli, obviously, but if he goes full, I'd probably just ash because you're gonna add it back for free anyways, I assume.
I actually don't know if I would.
Actually, it's only one draw. You also give him
So
knowledge you have an Ash. So
and like I would rather just hold it for like an Azuna or a Holy Sue.
Actually, yeah, no, that's a good point. I'm just being silly. Sweet.
So I'm not happy you ash this because that's a fire out of hand. So that kind of tells me that
yeah.
he does like he definitely doesn't have Holy Sue.
I don't
And
think that's an argument that or a conclusion I would come to.
I feel like if you had Holy Sue, you would hold this for
What if he just has like Xiaolong in hand?
he could, but I feel like you would hold this for Rahu if you have a Holy Sue, because then you have an engine heavy hand. Right now, if he's ashing one of my earlier targets, I feel like you have a weaker hand if you're not holding it for Rahu.
Um,
That's usually the read that I make, is if my opponent's interacting with my cards early, I just assume that they have a weaker hand. Because usually,
I think your deck has consistency issues already, and hand trapping early is probably just correct.
but it's also just very linear, right? There's only like a finite number of actions my deck does.
Sure.
So you can either ash that, you can ash Ketu, or you can ash Rahu. There's only like 3 points you can realistically ash.
Sure.
Uh, and if you make me tunnel down like a specific line, I feel like that would actually hurt more than me reasonably having the extender.
Um,
I guess the concern though for the Lucius though is if you don't Ash Lucius, then you almost not almost you have a guaranteed fusion summon that
yeah.
he cannot interact with 5 mana, and so that makes it to where the Ash is only punishable if you hard drew Rahu or 5 mana. So now it's 6 out of the 40, which is not unreasonable, but it's
Well,
also not
I
like
guess
high when it
yeah.
comes to consistent
I'd say
problems.
the other argument is like how often when you are the Vanquish Soul player and you look at lead Ketsu into Lucius, do you assume he has those other plays as well? And kind of hard to make a read on that honestly into like unknown 5 cards or unknown 4 cards.
I think
Good.
that's actually a great point you make because technically this is like the one matchup where if you can hold Ketu, you probably hold it because there's a good chance your opponent's putting bodies on the board between
Yeah.
Azuna and Holy Sue.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ketu just becomes so much more valuable.
But like
Reasonable.
as the Dracotail player, you definitely want to lead Lucius because you just like want the additional name in rotation. It gives you options for spheres if you play it. Uh, yeah, I think leading the Ash on Lucius makes like a fair bit of sense, just because 5 mana is like the most oppressive card in the matchup, and if you cut off like a search and they don't like, let's say like they only have like 5 mana or Rahu here, but they don't have another name, like another Dracotail name, then I think the game gets like way easier because you don't have to like they can't add back 5 mana, right? Like if they would have they can't get Urgula and 5 mana, so.
Reasonable. But like I feel like in this specific matchup, like how much do you actually care about that?
Well, when you see the Shaddoll card in rotation, a lot.
Well, but like you don't know that,
No,
right?
no, but
Like
like
you want
that is what you're proactive. Like that is how like if I'm the Vanquishal player here, and I don't know what his hand is. We'll take a look at it after this discussion. Um, but like if I look at my Ash Boss and I'm like, I need this card to be as effective as possible in the matchup, ashing Lucius to try and cut off 5 mana because 5 mana is how the deck creates Winda in like the most impactful situations is how I'd probably try to approach it.
yes, but then I guess like the other consideration is how much damage is that doing versus how much damage is letting Rahu resolve doing?
I don't think Rahu like the Dracotail cards are the least relevant cards in this matchup. There's a reason that me and you put Shaddoll cards in this deck, Rohan. I don't give two shits about any Dracotail effect when I'm playing Vanquish Soul.
Reasonable.
Yeah. Alright, so let's just look at this in real quick. So he has fires, so yeah, I think this is the argument that I make, like, oh, Ash like doesn't convey anything, but obviously doesn't have Holy Suit, so. So he gets Shadolls, he gets Headshock, yeah, he's just we get to win to him. We have Flame, obviously have Rahu, good for Glomel. There's like no argument to play around. Like this deck can play Crow, but it's probably just like too good to
Yeah.
not go for this, right?
Yeah, that was what my concern was
Mm-hmm.
perhaps I am not supposed to do this because if I get crowed, I just lose. But at the same time, then otherwise I don't actually have the setup for Winda. If I use one of the other dorks, like if I use like a beast
I
for
think
as
there's
part of my
There's probably like a really niche situation where you don't activate Rahu for that reason. Because like, what does this horn get you that like Winda doesn't? I don't know if there's a compelling argument for that, but like, it's probably something that like you should at a minimum just be like,
So I considered that, but then I also wanted both traps in rotation, and I thought that was the most realistic way that I can get both traps in rotation because I think a very
Yeah.
easy way to clear Winda,
Yeah.
because this deck has multiple, right? You can clear Winda very easily with a card like Mad Love, but you can
Yeah.
also just like turn Xiaolong into defense, turn Winda into defense and try to like just attack over it. So I think having like both traps and rotations there was valuable enough that I was like, okay,
that's a fair counterpoint. Yeah, because if they go like Mad Love, it's kind of niche though. They'd have to have like Mad Love, no effect. Well, I guess 'cause you don't have Horn, so yeah, I guess that's fair. Yeah, because if you don't have this Horn, they can still like normal Mad Love and then like outwind it at will. Like if you don't have it, like you can flame check the field spell, so like they have to still like hard up in the attributes. But I think, like I said, I think it's probably something I would consider. I think I would come to the same conclusion as you at the end. But I don't. I would have to just like prefer. Okay, that's broken top deck, but we have that. Okay. Never matter. Damn. Why is that Xiaolong in defense mode? Because flame, I guess. Sure. Search. All right, just ash him for fun. Cool. Feels like such a bad ash. Not like you made a bad ash. Just like mentally, I'm just like, damn. But it ends up being very good here.
So I actually wanted to cut off. Okay, so he has fire.
Actually, yeah, this is gonna get bounced to hand off Sacred Soul, and then he normal summons anything. You just like bounce it to hand, and you don't care. Like once he shows he has 2 fires, Mad Love can never get to an out the window. And if we're being honest, even if he does get to an out the window, like play the game from here, right? Like you have a horn, you have Nib in your hand now, so like it doesn't really matter. I think this game's effectively locked up.
Yeah.
I think given his hand, he probably should have, unless he had like literally no read on Winda, he should have just saved the Ash Blossom to stop Horn so he could have beat over it with Zhao Long.
That is probably a fair consideration, yeah. Yeah, actually, his hand had a fair amount of gas. It was what, Stake Your Soul, Fire, Ash, Mad Love, right?
Yeah, and the Zhao Long is so high value there because you'll have 2 fires.
Yeah, you'll guaranteed have. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's something I didn't consider. I think that's a good point.
What did the
Yeah,
Xiaolong search?
It got ashed.
No, ashed it.
I guess. So is there ever a world? Because from my perspective, I think he technically has an out to the window. If he puts the Xiaolong in attack, then if he normal summons the Mad Love, then if he goes attack with the
Well, you mean
Xiaolong,
just like attack with Zhang before summoning Mad Love, I assume?
no, you can summon Mad Love. Yeah, and in fact, you actually need to summon the Mad Love to do it, right?
Okay.
So if you go attack with the Xiaolong, and while you have Mad Love on the field, then your Xiaolong puts the Winda in defense. So that way the Horn can never stop you from killing the Winda.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Because you have 2 attack monsters that can attack over the window.
Yeah, because
so you have no way to stop it.
Yeah.
I have a Gulamal as well, right? So then, like, it's like that. Use the Ash to interact with it.
You can also just like chain
the Xiaolong.
So he would have to have. Well, no. So you have to use it proactively, right? Like, so you actually no. So you attack with Xiaolong. No, yeah. So you attack Xiaolong. It's bigger than it, and then then you change trap, and then you change Xiaolong to put in defense, right?
You also have start too. Just remember that. So like technically, if you do this properly, he'll play start before going into the battle phase. So then,
but then I would just like if I.
Yeah. And the reason that the start is important is because start's going to get you into a dark monster. So then you always will have a chainable with Mad Love to where Gulamel can't chain.
Yeah.
Because he goes Horn,
small things.
That's really fucking big. That is like an out the window. You're still in like a really hard game because like you don't have Oisu in rotation, so like how do you win the long game? Like you have to like he has to stick the Mad Love, so like on his opponent's turn he can like reveal for Mad Love, get Xiaolong out of hand to search Oisu. But like you're still so far behind to like being able to out the window, which like that deck will just sit on and just like attack over you with forever. It's important. I concur. Okay. Did you just? Oh, you're just the Giga Goat. No, you opened the 20%er. All right. So he goes Mad Love. So we can technically out this. if he F no. Okay, so he can just chain to bounce this. Wait, what?
If he has Dark and Earth, if he has
Does he just
Dark
like
and Earth.
have? Wait, what?
Oh,
What the hell did
Wait.
he?
what?
What are we
Yeah, I
missing?
think he forgot. He forgot to like Dark Earth bounce it.
Dog, this is so silly. He chose not to activate the effect, consciously aware of this, and then he just like still lets this shit happen.
That was game too. He was gonna cook you.
Yeah, you lose.
You lost, bro.
Wait, Rhoda, man. So this is something that I've seen done more lately that makes a lot of sense. Braden and David Flores did it in their Rainbow Gold deck when they were maining Thrust. You put in Dark Ruler no more, going first against Yummy. Not Yummy, sorry, Dracotail. Specifically for the situation. Like, Dark Ruler in general, I don't like as a Thrust target, just on principle. Like, the card is at its best whenever you can activate it first action, especially against a deck like Crystron. The Yummy deck is a little bit of an exception where, like, they still have, like, residual board after they activate an effect. Like, because their stuff is, like quote unquote layered, but, like, if you negate their board, they don't really have much. So having like a Dark Ruler to Thrust target for situations like this, Yummy deck, obviously it's like hard drawing it going second. I don't actually care for Thrust in this deck too much, but I think if you are going to play it, you should respect this matchup in the form of one card, which is Dark Ruler. Like this matchup is so good. If all you have is Dark Ruler for it, like you're probably just gonna be in a good spot. So then he chooses not to do it, and then just like gets pieced up from here because he can never out this window. Because Mulu is a permanent negate, which is just absurd. Alright, well, congratulations, Rahan, on your money. I hope you're proud.
Very proud.
And doing the raise and play here also just makes no sense. Maybe he was hoping to pop it, but window obviously has the protection.
Yeah.
And you don't even want to pop the window when you pass the turn because you want him to be locked under it.
Yeah.
I think he forgot. No, I don't think he forgot. I think all he wanted was to get like the Holly Suit rotation.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not enough here.
Sure, but like, what is enough?
Nothing.
I
Either.
think playing correctly on the turn 0.
No, I mean, he had like the right idea, right? Like he chose not to Mad Love effect with Dark Earth. He just like had a mental lapse, or like looked away from his PC for a second. Because if I had to guess, if this guy's in person, he's never fucking that up. Like that just like is something that like generally happens like online. Because like it is very rare. Like so when I make those types of mistakes in person, I like activate the Mad Love effect because I just like space. It's very rare that I like will remember not to do it and then just like forget the second step. And then you just like have 3 spellcasters or rivalry rewards because you're really good at this game.
Mm-hmm.
Tetsu, sure, yeah, why not? So he
I
should
ended up
probably.
using,
Yeah, he
I
should
ended up
suit
using
here.
I wanted like I knew he had like Lola Suit, right? So I knew I
Yeah.
wanted to check it anyway. But I was always checking it because I had the Urgula engrave, so I was
Oh.
always able to trigger the Gulamil. So like it's fine to use Ketsu here.
Yeah. I mean, like you can't special summon other way, right? So who cares?
He also could have
Uh-huh.
just chained the take to avoid the.
Yeah, he should have chained to take Lucius. He still loses this game, but is there like there's no extra I got to this window, right? Like you can't make SP.
No, yeah, there's nothing.
Can't even tribute summon of the Jokel. You'd
To be
have
fair,
to like
he could have
special
normaled the Mad
case.
Love. He could have normaled the Mad Love again and then use the effect. No, it doesn't work anymore because of the Lucas. Dang.
You'd have to like
Yeah.
enter battle attack. You get bounced by Horn. He has rivalry. Yeah, game's over.
Yeah, the game's over now.
That's frustrating. Because like I think I really wanted to see how this game plays out wherever he does it correctly, and then like he has like a lot of setup, and you have a rivalry like follow up. Like this game, I think could have gotten pretty interesting, but alas,
No, I
it
would
was
have
not.
not.
Huh?
I would have lost.
Yeah. I don't think you were guaranteed to lose because of rivalry. But like that game gets like way more interesting than what happened.
What is the other set card, real quick?
Horn.
I was wondering if there's ever a world where you actually just lead Jokel, and you go Jokel summon each other, and then you go Jokel search Lantern, and then you try to enter battle phase, attack over Lucius, and then your very next step because obviously under window like he can't actually do anything, so there's really no reason to flip the rivalry. Your next action could be flip or normal summon the Mad Love, don't use the effect to search, and now you actually have a legitimate out to the window. Yes, you still have rivalry as an issue, but that actually gives you an option to potentially win the game through that. Like obviously assuming you don't have rivalry, but I think that might have been a better line for
No, yeah.
the other guy to take.
I think maybe it should have been Jokel reveal Holly, because if you think if you do Jokel, the problem becomes
Well, you
if
can
you
just
go
horn
battle
bounce it,
phase,
right?
you
Like
get
he knows the
horn.
horn.
Yeah, horn chain Gulamel pop both Jokels, but if you have the Holly, you could
Oh, is
chain,
that? Well, you
Darker.
can say he'll have Dark Earth, but then he just goes horn bounce Jokel, right? It's like checkmate out of the way.
Yeah, so it just doesn't work right.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned you have to do double Jokel, right? Because like you
Actually,
have to
no,
have
no,
two
no.
guys that can kill over the Lucius.
Actually, no. Holy Suit is actually correct, right? Because you go summon, and then you take the Lucius and can crash it.
Um,
Oh, and then normal the Mad Love, and then
Yeah.
bounce the window.
Do you still have an Earth? Yeah, you have Azuna
That-
plus Jokel in hand. Yeah, that works.
Yeah, he would have. Yeah.
Okay,
So he had options here.
damn, this guy had two different opportunities. So in fairness, like those lines, like these lines, like are way easier to find after the fact. Like when there's four of us here just shooting the shit. But like this is, I think, a really important thing to do in your own games, just to go back and be like, hey, how could I have won this unwinnable game? And like we found a couple different lines. Like I didn't find, like Nick found at least one or two. Mitchell pointed one out. Like these are the things that I obviously skipped over. So I think it's really important to be doing this with people like obviously that all play the game a fair bit and are capable of providing that insight and they enjoy spending the time with to do this with, because this is like whatever third video tonight of us doing this, and I'm having a great time. So yeah, I think that's gonna call it here, Rahan. Hopefully we'll find one of these where you lose and we can actually have some interesting discussions over your misplays. But best deck of the
That's
format.
not
Why would you ever lose? You know, it makes sense.
That's not happening anytime soon.
All right, Rahan. If anyone wants to play my boy, hit him up, and we'll try and get some people on the channel. You know. Alrighty, I'm gonna close it out for this one. Deuces.